Join us for the very first IFL Live at London's Indigo at the O2, Sunday, August the 13th, with me, Cook and Cassius, and some very special guests. Eddie Hearn, Darren Barker, Johnny Fisher and more. Tickets now on sale. So in the words of Eddie Hearn...
You get up, you dress up, and you fucking show up.
Andrew McCART, IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. I'm here with Kalle, Sauerland. Kalle, 7.5 hours of boxing. We've just been talking about it, man.
7.5 hours has got to be some sort of record.
Well, I'm saying it must be, but listen, talk to me about the main event.
I had pizza ringside in between fights. Never noticed that.
That's a secret.
Yeah, I had a nice cheeky Hawaiian, a little bit of a dip.
I need to cut you off there. You put pineapple on your pizza.
I do, yeah. Don't tell the Italians. Yeah, what night? Where do I start? I guess with the main man. We had a job to do tonight. We knew it would be tough. Argy-bargy. It clearly carried on from the weigh-in. It went past the final bell. But in between, we saw what Josh can do. It was almost a total. The first 6 rounds were a total different script. He'd obviously seen the Troy Williamson fight 100 times. He sat back. He wouldn't throw a punch till Josh threw a punch. Wanted him to come in, and then Josh, he did what Josh can do. And he's so fast, in and out. Sucked him into a counter, and then he used some. He fought some. Listen, the Argentinian also, he's number 9 in the world, so. We did expect a tough fight, but there were some things in there that maybe the ref could have been a little bit harder with, maybe stamped on a bit earlier. But at the end of the day, I thought overall the ref did a very good job in containing what could have been a very, very, very ugly fight. And at the end, Josh, for me, he's just got a bit of everything, and he was fighting a guy tonight who was trying to mess up everything, and he did. Josh did a great job, and he's through with flying colours. My job starts Monday morning when I go to the federations and push for that number 1 spot and work out what's going on with the belts. Clearly, it's been a long time that the belts have been inactive, and that's a situation we'll look at. And of course, there's a few big names out there that have been mentioned in the last 24, 48 hours. Some with fights, some without fights, some closing fights, and some we'll see in the next week what's happening. So, going to be an interesting time. I think we all know the names we're talking about. So, let's watch this space. I think it's going to be a very hot autumn for Josh Kelly and the Army.
I'm looking forward to it. Now, you mentioned there the belts are fragmented, and number one spot's held by Murtalayev, I believe, the Russian guy, but I think he's going to IBF for it.
That's what people are saying, but he hasn't actually done it yet. Right. So until he's done it, we don't know. So it's a little bit, we'll be talking to the other promoters involved. I think everyone just wants to see activity around the belts, So I'm not saying they've been held at hostage, but they have been sort of inactive for a long time. And we're in the mix now, so we'll be shaking that tree.
I want to talk about the big domestic fights, but I want to stay on this a little bit, obviously, because I know you've got a lot of media and it's getting late. So talk about the Murtalayev goes to IBF, right? Charlo vacates all the belts. Tszyu's interim. Josh Kelly. That'll be the number 1 spot. Surely them two should fight for that WBO belt.
Tszyu, you're saying?
Tszyu.
Yeah, fantastic fight. Fantastic fight. I would say it's a fight that I'd love to get in the Stadium of Light. I know he does a big crowd down there, but I'm pretty sure we could make a very strong financial offer. That's what it comes down to in boxing, isn't it? To get that fight into the Stadium of Light, that would be sort of my wish. If I was doing a Tszyu fight, it's got to be a big occasion, and it's on that list. But as I said, I'm not gonna speculate too much on the next. So much that can happen with those federations. So, whilst I've got to do my job of promoting, and I can stand here and say, yeah, it's going to be Tszyu and Stadium and Light, October 21st, and it's going to be fantastic. But just pluck that date out my hair, by the way. But no, let's be realistic. We just come off a great night here in Newcastle, on the zone, and I'm just gonna. we're going to enjoy the victory tonight, but it's down to work on Monday for us on the promotional side.
Well, obviously, that's why you love your job. That's why you've been doing it for so long, Kalle. But listen, talk to me about the domestic fights. There's Chris Eubank, there's Benn, there's Liam Smith. Now, for you as a...
know that someone's getting paired, don't we? You know, we all know that we're very close for the announcement of Eubank Smith, or Smith Eubank too, as Liam pointed out yesterday. And then, you know, but we'll see. You know, we're very close to getting it done. That will leave other characters on that wonderful lineup.
The name that's left is Conor Benn.
Yeah, it's Conor Benn. Well, no, you know, there's Kel. You know, I saw he was active also in the banter around that.
He did mention that he needed a big name to come out of retirement and he needed paid.
Yeah, I saw. You know, at the end of the day, they all need big names, but they all want big money. So, you know, we got the money as well. So, you know, it's. We'll see. We'll see. They're all interesting names. As I said, I'm going to see what happens when the dust settles next week, and there'll be names that come out of that dust that become very obvious which way it is. But it takes two to tango, you know.
One final one for me then. You did mention Chris Eubank sent out a tweet, I think a couple of days ago, saying September 1st, 2nd. Says September 2nd, 0-2, Liam Smith, let's go. Yeah. Liam Smith responded. You're one half of the main man to speak to. Obviously, Boxer's the other half. So, what's going on? When can we hear?
Yeah, I mean, I think early next week you'll hear. Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to it, Kalle. Listen, I know you've got plenty more media to do, and it's always a pleasure to speak to my man. Thank you so much. I won't see you in Edinburgh next week.
Listen, a big shout out. We'll do a piece tomorrow on everyone on the card. It was 7.5 hours tonight, so every girl...
Run down the card. Go.
I mean, you know, big up Chloe Watson. She had a huge step up tonight. Next stop, European Championship. Was delighted for her. It was so easy to take the eyes off the prize. Cody Smith, our Yorkshireman. You know, he had a good fight tonight. Second pro fight, great following. I thought Ben Marksby was great as well.
Reminds me of Josh Kelly, or not?
He is, yeah. I mean, he's got to develop a bit. You know, he's not there yet. But I think he learnt a lot tonight. I think he was shocked. I think it was his first tough South American opponent. So you could see at the end of the fight,
he felt deflated.
Like, what was that? And I'm like, well, it's a learning fight, mate. And but he's got a bright future as well, which is great in this area. You know, so. You know, credit for Ignatius for the win over Drago. I'm sure Drago will be back. And that British fight, for me, so far this year, I don't know, I'm trying to pluck other ones out of my head, but I think that, for me, this year is the best British title fight I've seen, the most exciting one I've seen.
Definitely.
It was back fourth. At the 6th round, I thought we were in the 9th. At the 10th, I thought we were in the 14th. It was an incredible fight, and it was back and forth, and I think the right man got the nod. Absolutely, and credit to Dylan, but also to Case for putting up such a great fight. Love to run that one back. I went to see Case in the dressing room afterwards. He was very down and said, "Look, mate, let's try and do that one again," because I think everyone enjoyed it. It was just, you know, I saw him on the scales yesterday, Dylan. I thought he's going to struggle today because he was really struggling on the weight, and he had to go do another weigh in. But there was nothing left in either's tank. Great to see. Credit to the sport. Credit to the sport. Yeah. And also, the last one, Mikkel Kessler's protege, Oliver Zarin, opening the show tonight. Big name for the future from Denmark. Great to see a Danish boxer. New Mikkel Kessler on the way, Oliver Zarin.
Well, that's music to my ears. And if you've got another Mikkel Kessler out there, so Kalle, listen, you won't be in Edinburgh next week. You'll be in Nashville, so this is the main man to speak to. So
in Edinburgh next week. Lee McGregor, world title fight next week. Plus, from Edinburgh, live on Channel 5, and also, of course, the return again of Harlem Eubank. Another Eubank.
Definitely. Kalle, like I said, thank you so much. Thanks for having me, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you, Kalle. Thank you.
Join us for the very first IFL Live at London's Indigo at the O2, Sunday, August the 13th, with me, Kugan Cassius, and some very special guests. Eddie Hearn, Darren Barker, Johnny Fisher, and more. Tickets now on sale. So in the words of Eddie Hearn,
You get up, you dress up, and you fucking show up.